Attention, Eagles Nation! It's your boy, Mizzy Miz Cool County YouTube representing the Birds. Your QB. Hurt season. Hurt business. Business is boom, 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 booming. Jalen Hurts had his press conference today. We gonna hear about it right now. Your commander-in-chief speaking. Let's listen to him. Shall we? I told you, we up to something.
Hey, Jalen, thanks for taking the time today.
Thank you. Yeah, glad to be here back with y'all.
We'll get started with John McMullen and then John Clark.
Hey, Jalen, good to see you. Obviously, a lot of change for you. Second year coming, you're doing this as ostensibly the quarterback one. You're changing coaching staffs. Do you think you have that commitment from this staff? Nick has preached competition. How do you see the situation?
You know, I value everything that coaches brought here. You know, I remember back in my days at Alabama, you know, Coach Saban, hearing him talk about discipline, commitment, effort, toughness, and pride, having these core values that he's trying to instill in the team. And in the end, it all worked out for the team. You know, you see Coach Nick Sirianni coming in, preaching connection, preaching accountability and competition and fundamentals and football IQ, preaching all these things. And I know in all of those different avenues, all those different values and principles that we're, you know, trying to instill here in Philly, no one is above that. And everybody got to go to work, you know. So for me, I know rent is due every day. It's always been that way for me. Always been a get better mentality every day, grow every day, be a better leader every day, be a better quarterback every day. And when that rent's due, I don't plan on missing no payments. So it's work.
Go ahead, John Clark and then Martin Frank.
Hey, Jalen, just how much different is this second year for you? Last year coming in as the backup, Carson was here, and you didn't have preseason games and you had a virtual offseason. Just how much different is it this year for you?
You going on the jog today?
I had to get a little exercise in.
Yeah, I think I'm very happy that we're able to kind of get in the building now. One, get acclimated to new coaches, new system. You know, you got some new faces in the building. I think all of that's important to our growth as a football team, and I'm happy we're able to do that. And I think, you know, you're going to have differences and changes everywhere, but ultimately we talk about being committed. And I think that's what it comes down to, right? Being committed to what Coach is preaching and going out there and, you know, playing together and believing in one another.
Go ahead, Martin, and then Zach Berman.
Hey, Jalen. It's been a while since we talked, and obviously a lot has happened. Carson got traded. You guys, you know, signed Joe Flacco. And, you know, when Nick Sirianni has talked to us, he hasn't come right out and committed to you as a starting quarterback. And I was kind of wondering, like, how you feel about all those changes and also your status as, you know, whether or not you're the starting quarterback. Thanks.
Yeah, I say Joe has been great. Joe has been great. The knowledge he brings to the quarterback room is very beneficial for me. He has a great mind with those things, and obviously has a lot of great experience. So I look forward to working with him and having him there. As far as everything else, I know I'm not above anything with a competition or football IQ. All the values we have, I'm not above none of that. So that's kind of where that is.
Go ahead, Zach, and then Jeff McLean.
Hey, Jalen, it's obviously a new offense. What sense do you have of what this offense will look like, how you'll fit in it, and kind of how it can tailor toward your skill set?
Yes, sir. I think we just want to be efficient. We want to be efficient. You know, you look at how you grow, and anything that you do, those things consist of not making the same mistakes, and ultimately you learn from your mistakes. So I think it takes deliberate intention, going in there, knowing what I want to improve on every day, and going out there and doing it, striving to do it, having true intent. And you don't want to be a repeat defender. So we just want to grow. We got a lot of new faces, young players in different positions, and we just want to grow together.
Go ahead, Jeff, and then Dave Zangaro.
Jalen, you've obviously known Brian Johnson for a long time. Can you tell us about your relationship over the years, and what do you know about him as a coach, and what do you think? What do you think he'll bring out the best in you?
Yeah, I grew up watching Coach Johnson, Coach BJ play down there at East Houston, Baytown Lee, where my dad coached, and I was a little preschooler, 4 years old, 5 years old, running around, doing everything that they were doing. And he played there at Baytown Lee. My dad coached him, and he's really kind of always been there in terms of being around and in my life, being someone maybe I checked on or my dad checked on. He's always kind of had a presence in my family. And, I know when I went to college, he was trying to get me to come to Mississippi State. He recruited me there. I ended up going to Bama. And I don't know, he always talked about getting the opportunity to coach me. And obviously not going to Mississippi State or Florida, that didn't happen. But now he's with Philly, and I guess it was all meant to be. So I know he's excited. I'm very excited, and we want to do something special together.
Dave, and then Ed Kratz.
Hey, Jalen. Do you think this team has put the pieces around you for you to be able to maximize your potential this season?
I think you go into it, you kind of it's a we all we got, we all we need mentality, and we're gonna go out there and go battle and go to work with what we have. I don't get into moves we make and anything like that, but ultimately, what matters to me, and I think what matters to the coaches and the players on the team is going out there and executing your job. I think we'll have complete belief in whoever we put on the field, and we just want to go out there and play good football and win ball games.
Go ahead, Ed, and then Damo.
Hi, Jalen. Just what was your reaction when the Eagles drafted two of your former teammates, Devonta Smith and then Landon Dickerson? And what do they add to this team?
It was talked about prior to. Me and Devonta had a, I think about Devonta, and I always tell people the first thing about him, one, the competitor he is, kind of a stoic guy, kind of like myself in a few ways, but he's self-driven, and bringing someone in like that, I think it helps. I think it helps in just the presence of him being here. I look at the late nights we had in college where we, nothing else to do. We go out there and go throw. Or when I host them on this recruiting visit to come to Alabama, usually you want to go on the strip, or, that's like the street, college street in Tuscaloosa. You want to go to the strip, or, find something to get into, party or something like that, where his head wasn't on that. He was trying to work. We were in the indoor late at night getting work in. So I think that shows the mentality he has, and I think he's bringing all of that with him here. And with Landon, I didn't get to play with Landon, but I've kept in I've been in the loop, obviously, and I know the presence he's had after he transferred from Florida State and went to Bama, and he got some dog in him, so
go ahead.
I'm good with it.
Go ahead, Damo and Bo.
Jalen, you mentioned earlier that you don't want to be a repeat offender. What areas going into this offseason did you feel you need to make the most improvement on with your game?
I always felt like it was very important to have the system down. One, getting the system down, being on the same page with the coaches, and having some consistency. And I think consistency comes from, being fundamentally sound, but actually knowing what you're supposed to do and being comfortable with what you're doing. I think that's the biggest thing. So being consistent, excuse me.
Bo and then Jamie.
Jalen, you touched on this a little bit, but in terms of the Alabama culture, with you and Devonta and Landon bringing those guys in, what would you implement from that culture into this culture if you could? And is it difficult because Nick Saban and Nick Sirianni are not exactly similar personalities in the way they approach things?
Well, I wouldn't get into a comparison. I think it just kind of matched, kind of hand in hand. I think the intent of what Coach Sirianni's doing, and I respect it so much because, in my head it makes sense. And I know hearing someone say something with so much conviction, as a player, that brings you closer to one another. And they, you believe in that. You buy into that, and it can spark something great. So that's what we're trying to do ultimately, is trying to, we're buying into what Coach is saying. And want to kind of take the bull by the horn and go out there and play some good football this year.
Jamie and then Howard.
Jalen, I know you said you're not above anything, and we all respect that, and that's great to hear. That being said, we were just talking to Brandon Graham, and he was talking about you specifically and saying how much different it is when you know you're the guy in the building, and how much different it is, to know that it's your team and to be able to lead the team. So that being said, coming into this year too, how does it feel for you around the building, and how different is it?
That's a good question. I think my intent doesn't change. The mentality I have, it doesn't change. The urge and thirst for growth and being a better leader, being a better quarterback, that doesn't change. So I want to obviously impact the people around me in the best way I can. Be somebody that people see as an accountable person, an accountable quarterback, and to go out there and do my job. At the end of the day, you earn the respect of your teammates when you go out there and make plays and you do those things. So I just want to continue to do that and bring everybody together.
We have
Jalen.
a few more. Sorry, Howard. So we'll go to Howard, Chris, and then Jeff.
Jalen, how much more difficult is it for you as a quarterback to not have 11 on 11s in these camps, not have 7 on 7s? And is it really a disadvantage for a person trying to show people that he is the quarterback for this football team?
Yeah, I won't get into, I won't really get into the things that we can't do, the things that maybe could, hold us back. I see it as this. We want to turn these negative situations into positive. We want to maximize what we do have and go to work. Work is work. You get out what you put in, So we're trying to put in a lot with what we have, right intent, trying to be fundamentally sound in everything we do and just learn. Soaking all of this stuff in right now. You have everybody together as a football team, all the guys, offense and defense together with the new coaches for the first time. That's very valuable. So it's important to us, and we're happy to be here.
Jalen, so just to follow up on that, you say you don't want to get into the negative. So is this not having the 11 on 11s and 7 on 7s a negative for a quarterback, especially a new one?
I wouldn't say it's a direct negative. You love to do it, but this is the card. These are the cards we're dealt right now. So this is what we have to play with,
All right, thank you.
Go ahead, Chris.
Which Chris are you talking about? Chris Franklin or Chris Murray?
Chris Murray.
Okay, thank you. Jalen, what did you learn from those 4 starts you had at the end of last season? And another part, a different part of the question would be, you were always competing for starting jobs at both Oklahoma and Alabama. But first, I was wondering if you could talk about what did you learn from being in the starting position? What were some mistakes you made? What were some things you can get better at?
One, I think I mentioned it earlier in a way, but consistency. Consistency is everything, and not being a repeat offender. Those are 2 things that I think if you just take away simply from those first 4 games I played in, I think those are things that I hold in high regard. I think knowing that every play counts, every down counts, the football IQ you have in every situation of the football game, it all comes into hand. So that.
Last one here with Jeff Skaversky.
Hey, what's up, Jalen? How are you?
What's going on?
Nothing much. Wanted to ask you about your receivers. One, Devonta, you have a relationship with him. You play with him. How long do you think it'll take for you to really just kind of get back into that rhythm with him? Both of you guys have talked about playing with each other. And then on the other side, to have Rager, who's, he's hungry to prove. He's hurt last year, didn't live up to maybe expectations. When you have 2 receivers like that are hungry and you're hungry, how special can this receiver dynamic be with you at quarterback?
Yeah, I think we're all hungry. We're all hungry. I know Rager is. I know Smitty is. I know that whole entire receiving core is. G Ward, the whole line. I think everybody's hungry. You kind of trigger something in me. Everybody's hungry because we didn't finish what we didn't do what we wanted to do last year. It didn't go the way we wanted it to. Ultimately, in the end, we didn't have the outcome we wanted. So we're very hungry, and we don't plan on missing meals.
Thank you.
Thanks for the time, Jalen.
Thank you.
I love what he said. I love everything that he said. He said, when rent's due, he ain't missing no games, he ain't missing no practice, and he ain't above competition. He don't want nothing handed to him. He want to earn it. He want to look shit. Nick Sirianni dead in his eyes and say, I want it more. I want it more. I love that. He also said, everybody's hungry. The receiver's hungry. He's hungry because last season they didn't finish the meal. They didn't finish the meal last season. And they're going to make sure. The dogs are going to make sure that there ain't no meals missed. I love it. Love Devonta Smith being here. Everybody's hungry. Got that swag going on. I love the presser. I love the presser. I love the presser. Jalen Hurts got something to prove. All the things he got to work on, he knows he got to work on it, and he's going to work on it. He said, ain't nobody missing no food, and rent's due, ain't nobody missing no rent. And he ain't above competition. He wants to be like everybody else. He don't want to hand it to him. He don't want to hand it to him. What? No! Earn it, young blood! I love Jalen Hurts. I love him. That's my quarterback. That's the Philadelphia way. Don't let things be handed to you. Earn it. Whether it's your job, working 9 to 5, busting the ass, don't let things get handed to you. Earn it. Don't believe me? Ask Rocky. Don't believe me? Ask Will Smith, Kevin Hart, Meek Mill. Love Jalen Hurts. Love him. Love him. Don't want things handed to him. He's going to earn it. Love the presser. And fly Eagles fly, Jalen Hurts.